We landed at 12:30 p.m. and took a Grab to our hotel in Old Quarter. This was about a 35-minute drive depending on traffic. We were right on time for check-in when we reached Old Quarter, and this hotel felt so comfy and spacious. The first reason why I fell in love with Hanoi. It had a semi-open bathroom concept with the sink being outside. We went out shortly after settling in and took a walk around Old Quarter while making a reservation at 4P's for a late lunch. We took a brief walk around this beautiful lake to kill some time before lunch. Despite only spending less than an hour here, there was something about this lake that made me fall in love. This was the second reason why I fell in love with Hanoi. We went back to 4P's, specializing in Italian food such as pastas, pizzas, and in-house cheeses. We ordered a half and half of the beef and scallop pizza along with a classic spaghetti bolognese. The scallop pizza had a thick and creamy base which lacked depth. Topped with asparagus and scallops, the asparagus released a lot of moisture when bitten into it, while the scallops were cooked perfectly, silky with a nice bite to it. The beef pizza, on the other hand, was packed with flavour, with the meat being tender and juicy, but could have done with lesser salt. This said, the saltiness from the beef was balanced out by the lettuce, tomatoes, and white onions. The spaghetti bolognese was the main star, with the tangy and savoury sauce clinging to every strand of pasta. Their in-house smoked cheese was so unique, making the dish unforgettable. We also ordered a cheese dessert plate, which comes with mousse mascarpone, cream mascarpone, blue cream cheese, and shredded mozzarella, served in a tangy yuzu sauce. The blue cheese was intriguing, having a unique, mildly pungent flavour, which was delicious in small doses. That being said, the more I ate it, the more pungent it became. The cream mascarpone was my favourite, being rich, smooth, and creamy. We did a little window shopping within Old Quarter as we headed back to our hotel to rest. Back at our hotel, we checked out the rooftop bar, which was empty and relaxing. Later that night, we headed out for some banh mi, where we ordered their special. We also went to a convenience store to buy some drinks and snacks. I got this melon mint tea, which had that cool and refreshing feeling when eating mints. The special banh mi came with pork slices, pork sausage, fried egg, pate, mayo, coriander, carrot, and chili sauce. The bread was crispy on the outside, yet soft on the inside. The meat was so fatty and flavorful, with all the ingredients complementing one another. But the moment I found out that pate was liver, the sandwich no longer tasted as good as my first bite. We started the next day with a complimentary hotel breakfast buffet. The food here was pretty good, with my favourites being the glass noodle and potato soup, which was so thick and creamy, with a strong potato flavour. You can also order eggs and chicken pho, which was warm and comforting. We rested for a little before heading out for lunch. We had a Vietnamese specialty, fried fish grilled in turmeric and dill. We ordered a single portion of fried fish and fish guts, which came with rice noodles and a variety of sides. Our waiter was kind enough to teach us how to assemble the perfect bite. The fried fish was soft and flaky, infused with the aroma from the spices. I was a little skeptical of the fish guts, as I am with all innards, but it was smoky and had a nice bite to it. The rice noodles balanced out the aromatic flavours from the turmeric and dill, as well as the saltiness from the shrimp paste. This meal was on a more expensive end, but I fully enjoyed every bite of it. After lunch, we grabbed coffee at the viral Note Coffee. Known for their unique interior, the Note Coffee provides a fun activity where you can write a note and paste it within their shop for others to read. We had to climb up these really steep stairs, which were pretty scary. We tried their egg coffee and coconut coffee, which honestly weren't that great. There were actual chunks of semi-cooked egg in the coffee, and the coconut coffee just wasn't strong enough. I swore off egg coffee from that day. Despite this, sitting in the Note Coffee was an experience. And of course, we had to write some notes of our own. Thereafter, we took a walk around the lake. Maybe it was the peace, or its beauty, or the fact that I love every single water body I come across, but I truly enjoyed soaking in the nature at this lake. We arrived at our next cafe, which was a Harry Potter themed one. They sold really cool trinkets such as musical boxes, wands, pop mats, ropes, and necklaces. The moment I realized why the cafe was named Always sent chills down my spine. Snape was my favourite character, and to have a cafe named after one of his most emotional scenes got me right in the feels. I got a butter beer, which was butterscotch cream soda with vegan cream and caramel, but it was disappointing. We stumbled upon this dessert stall while walking and saw Singapore on its menu, so naturally, we had to try it. We got a super silky blanket topped with chewy oolong pearls, along with a milk, matcha, and cheese tofu mix, which was more interesting as I've never tried such flavours. There was something about sitting by the roadside and watching life unfold that made it my third reason why I fell in love with Hanoi. We managed to catch the sun setting at the lake as we walked back to our hotel to collect our bags. We rested a little in the hotel lobby before making our way to our dinner location. We had another Vietnamese specialty for dinner, grilled pork with rice noodles. This restaurant is part of the Michelin Guide and everything here was amazing. Served with tender and fatty pork belly and pork meatballs, the smokiness from the meats was infused into the broth, adding depth to the light and aromatic broth. The dish was served with rice noodles, which soaked up the flavour from the broth. Our meal came with a side of fried spring rolls, which includes the traditional chicken and seafood rolls. My favourite was the seafood roll, which had chunks of squid, giving it a slight chewiness along with a crispy exterior. We called it a day as we boarded our overnight sleeper bus towards Sapa. More on my Sapa experience in a later video. Trust me, it's an interesting one. We arrived back in Hanoi in the wee hours of the morning and left our bags at our hotel to head out to grab some breakfast at this Michelin Guide restaurant down the street. We ordered the half-done and well-done beef pho. The silky rice noodles were topped with a light and beefy broth, which was so warm and comforting. I preferred the half-done beef as it was more tender. Topped with spring onions, coriander, and white onions, the garnishes added an extra dimension of flavour and a subtle sweetness. We passed by St. Joseph Cathedral, which had beautiful architecture. We stopped by this cafe that my friend recommended to give egg coffee another try. This did not disappoint. The egg coffee was thick and creamy, together with a strong aromatic coffee base. The sweetness from the egg mousse balanced out the bitterness from the coffee, making it the perfect drink. The fourth reason why I fell in love with Hanoi. We visited Lotte Mall to do some shopping, as I also had to conduct my mandatory grocery run in every foreign country I visit. We headed back to our hotel to check in and crash. I personally preferred the first hotel we stayed at as it felt cozier. For dinner, we reserved a spot for a buffet. We needed a local number for reservation, and the receptionist at our hotel was kind enough to let us use hers. The people here were so kind and friendly, the fifth reason why I fell in love with Hanoi. The buffet offered a wide selection of seafood, from crabs to prawns and oysters. I'll give my full review of this place and the food I tried in a later video, but to summarize, the seafood here was fresh and delicious. The price was also very reasonable for the selection and quality of seafood that you're getting. Similar to our first hotel, this place offered a complimentary breakfast but had a smaller selection. They also served pho and eggs. We went to Aeon for more shopping and had 4Ps yet again. We got an assorted cheese board, half and half of a seafood and mushroom pizza, and a salmon fettuccine. The cheese board came with brie, goat cheese, blue cheese, parmesan and cheddar, served with a crunchy toasted flatbread. The cheeses tasted pretty similar, as I am no cheese connoisseur with the exception of the brie because I love my soft, melty textured cheeses. I recommend adding some honey with every bite for a little extra depth. The fettuccine was a little undercooked and the dish could have used more sauce. The salmon was flaky, finished with a zest of lemon which elevated the dish. The seafood pizza came with a variety of fresh seafood such as squid, clams and octopus, which I appreciated. I felt that the pizza could have done with lesser tomato base as the tanginess was a little too overpowering. The mushroom pizza was cheesy and topped with various juicy mushrooms. We had banh mi for dinner, where I ordered a vegetarian version to avoid the pate. This came with vegetarian meatballs, chunks of mushrooms, and vegetarian rolls with herbs. The oyster mushrooms added moisture to the sandwich, with the meatballs and rolls being flavorful. We called it an early night as we had a Halong Bay tour the following day. We booked our tour through Klook, which I'll share more about in another video. I fell in love with everything from the food to people and tranquility. Needless to say, I loved every second of my time in Hanoi.